Hello, 0 degrees Gemini. Thank you for joining me. This video is for the Gemini collective. Hope you're doing well. We have a new moon in Cancer this week. The Nine of Swords. Are you really seeing clearly? We have the Death card. And the Knight of Wands. The Ten of Swords. The Six of Wands. Justice. The Page of Swords. All right, let's get some Oceanic Tarot as well. Okay. With the Two of Pentacles, we have options. We have the Death card, transformation. We have the Five of Swords relating to conflict. The Ten of Pentacles relating to luck. Okay. So, we can get some angel cards here. Angels, what do you have for Gemini? Boundaries. Boundaries and declutter. Okay, what else do we have for the Gemini? What else do we have? Self-love. I am worthy of love. Love does start with you. Here we have a rebirth. I am in constant bloom. I am refreshed, rejuvenated, and reborn. Okay, so, I mean, if you got phased out or you feel like it was time to do something new and explore other options, that's what you were doing. That's what you chose. You chose to... You chose to move on. All right, yeah, the Nine of Swords is about your life being better than you realize. I mean, at least you were able to make a decision to move on before you were forced, before you know, wasted more time in a situation that wasn't going to be long term. Okay, so, I mean, you're ready for that adventure with the Knight of Wands. You're ready to move on. You're ready for your rebirth. You're feeling like you can change your luck with the Ten of Pentacles. You're feeling like you can be abundant. You're not feeling limited. You do have options, and options are a good thing. The damage has been done with the Ten of Swords. Something has already happened that you're going to do nothing about. With the Five of Swords, there was conflict, maybe that you avoided. And maybe you had some boundaries you didn't want to cross. And so you did have some success, but it's like you knew there was more options. You knew there was more possibilities. You knew that you would regret letting a corporation play you. You didn't think that was fair. Yet you had some good time with a corporation. You had some good days. You had some success. You had some positivity. You proved that you can do things, that you're able and capable. I mean, you try to be as kind as you can, even if people are going to do what they're going to do. You know, they're going to keep so many people and let go of the rest, you know, and run with their elite. Okay, we've got the Page of Swords here. It's about fearing nothing. So, I mean, maybe you were fearless as you were leaving. And you knew you were going to go into a new phase. So you were thinking ahead. You were looking at your options. And here we have transformation at hand. 2 times here. We have the Death card. You're out of one phase and you're going into the next. So it is all about that rebirth. Let's read that card, and we'll read about boundaries and decluttering. I am in constant bloom. I am refreshed, rejuvenated, and reborn. You have entered a period of spiritual awakening and rebirth, where you have the opportunity to align with your higher self and the overarching principles that guide you. The angels say to be prepared to be the best you can be. Declutter. I am surrounded only by what I need and love. Okay, so I mean, you're likely to need to simplify your life. The angels want you to know the best way to declutter your home, your workspace, and your life is to take things one small step at a time. Combined small steps will lead to big improvements that will be easier to maintain in the long run. So, I mean, we don't clean everything up all at once. If you're going to spend more time at home, recognize that you can do a little at a time. Boundaries. I am worthy and deserving of setting and maintaining boundaries that serve me. I mean, you think about how corporations want you to be at their beck and call, but whether or not that's fair is another thing. Like, the person with 2 jobs needs to have boundaries on their time and their limits. And you have to have boundaries that serve you. So the angels say that they want you to remember, if you keep prioritizing the needs of others and ignoring your own, then things might fall apart. For once, love yourself and do things that please you no matter what others might say. I mean, that's absolutely true, how we can't jump and run all the time to please a corporation that will replace us in a minute. And sometimes we're aware that we have options, that we don't have to put all of our eggs in one basket. But the person who prioritizes their time so they can manage it better and spread themselves in multiple directions has to think about boundaries. Because if you're not getting your 42 hours, your 40 hours, if you're not getting that time on the clock, if you're not getting full time, you have to treat jobs like they're part-time. And you got to understand that there's other things you need to tend to. You need to fix your life. You can declutter. You can reorganize. You can work on your self-love. I am worthy of love. Focus your attention on loving and believing in yourself. You are being encouraged by the angels to make your relationship with yourself your #1 priority. Rather than dwell upon your shortcomings, you must accept and embrace who you are. Okay, so I mean, if you're on a spiritual journey, it's not just about the success and the materialism and giving your all to something that isn't prioritizing you. So you look at what's fair. If you had a full-time job, then you want to be available to that. But if they're treating you like you're a part-time employee and that you're replaceable, you have to have boundaries around your time. Because your time matters. So life is better than you think. You have options. You're in another phase of your life. There's a rebirth at hand. You're working on your spiritual awakening. You're working on your personal life. You're working on self-love. The resources tend to be there. And you do need to simplify. And true, you can't handle all those bills all at once. There's likely to be things that go unpaid, bills that go unpaid, bills that need to wait. But being in a state of conflict, being in a situation where you're not going to grow anymore, I mean, feeling like you need to beg or demand or chase or pursue or control a situation that is not controllable for you, as corporations are just going through changes. But luck is on your side here. You have other talents. There's things you can do. You're not hopeless, and you are working on that rebirth. You're born again. So the old way was 40 hours, 42 hours. Now you're looking at boundaries and a couple part-time jobs and reorganizing your life, and that's okay. So I feel like you can overcome the conflict by doing things your own way and prioritizing where you're at in your own life. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, valuing something more than it values you, whether that be relationships, corporations, etc., I mean, you need to be aware of how important that self-love is. You got to love and believe in yourself. That's what's important right now. That self-love, believing in yourself, believing you're worthy of love and positivity and gratitude from the universe is a positive thing. So sometimes the fair thing to do is also to watch out for number one. Because if you don't take care of you, who's going to do it? So I feel like with the Nine of Swords, the situation is better than you think. You can have faith. You can have mental strength. And you can have boundaries. And you can be aware that sometimes you can't run immediately drop everything. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you do need to tend to your new life, your rebirth, decluttering your life, figuring out what the new boundaries are. Sometimes that's what you need, is to think about fair boundaries. Boundaries that are fair to you and not just fair to others. Because in the end, when you get shortchanged, you're going to want to just move on. You're going to want to go to the next phase. You're going to want to have more options than just feeling let down by a group that you put all your energy into. So you're actually better off sometimes scattering your energies rather than believing in an organization continuing to be full-time work. Corporations might be employing a lot of people and giving less work to individuals, which means part-time work is normalizing. Sometimes part-time work could be great. You could be working 42 hours, but then sometimes you're only working 20 hours. So you have to be aware of the rise and fall of business and how the situation could be moving along fine for months and months and months, and then all of a sudden there's corporate change. I mean, maybe it's the administration, maybe it's just the luck of things, but you change your own luck. We're all responsible for our own luck. So we can create options. We can choose options. We can choose to be intelligent. And we can look at redefining success. Maybe success is a couple part-time jobs and work-life balance. Okay, yeah, with the Two of Pentacles, I think it's about the work-life balance too. So you learn to be more organized, you declutter, you prioritize, and you're going to be all right. Okay, Gemini, this is my message. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching.